What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for being here. It's 11:30 my time in the evening. I had a long weekend. I got back. I charted. I want to get this stuff done for you guys. This is our daily watch list for Monday, October 3rd. It is a new day. It's a new week. It's a new month. We are also starting a set of 3 months. It's a brand new 3-month chart starting on Monday. So a lot of times we'll tell you guys, let this stuff open. We'll see how it happens. But we're going to go through this list, and I'm going to try and get as many of these out to you tonight as possible so you have them for Monday morning. And so you guys are ready. Listen, guys, this stuff is the easiest strategy you will come across. It's the easiest thing to learn. There's basically no indicators. You just have to learn a few really easy patterns, the setups and the entries and the exits, which I give all to you guys within this YouTube channel. And let me tell you this, I promise you, if you guys stick with this for like a year, if you stick with this for 6 months, study this stuff for 6 months, it'll change your life, okay? I promise you that. Let's go through a couple things before we get started here. Number one, this screen that you see right now, this is TradingView. So it's a website. It allows me to chart all of my stuff. So with TradingView, I use the Pro Plus version. If you're looking for something like this to chart, if you've never used TradingView, you can go down into the link in the description below. That link will give you a free 3-month trial, or sorry, 30-day trial, 1-month trial. So a free 30 days to one of their subscription-based services. And if you decide to use that subscription after 30 days, then you get up to $30 off. But you need to start by going into the description and clicking that TradingView link. If you have questions, comments, make sure you leave them down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And make sure you guys are subscribed down below. And then hit that bell. That bell is the most important part. It gives you the notifications for when I send out videos just like this one every single day. So we do daily setups. We do weekly swings, monthly swings, 3-quarter swings, and then a crap ton of learning tools for you guys. So entries, exits, how to manage your trades, everything that you guys are possibly unsure how to do, we teach on this channel. So thank you guys for being here. The other thing I've got is a Griswold trading Discord. So that Discord link is in the description below. And everything I offer you guys, whether it's free or fee-based, is available in that Discord. So whether it's a Griswold Gold membership, which includes one-on-ones, a 1-hour strat course that I've added in there, the trading bots, the Griswold trading indicator, which we'll go through as we go through this video, but you can't find it on TradingView. You can find it in the link in the description below or the Discord. And it's basically all the strat indicators rolled into one for you guys for your convenience. So go check that stuff out, and let's get started on this watch list. So let's start out with CVX. So CVX, if I'm looking at one play tomorrow, CVX has those double inside bars, so I'm going to look at them. And if you guys are new, let's talk about inside bars. So you notice how they're painted yellow. So that's part of the Griswold Strat indicator. It paints those inside bars yellow, so they're really, really easy for you guys to see. Okay, so when you see these yellow bars, I want you guys to think of a spring becoming loaded or compacted and getting tightened. And when you release that spring, you want to see an explosion. So we're expecting this spring to jump one way or the other, high or low. So the way we've got it set up, you can take calls on this at 145.14 and puts at 142.44. And then you just mark your targets out to the next highest or lowest preceding wick. So we're going to mark that out in green. And if you notice, our second target to the top is pink. So that pink line represents our weekly trigger. So on the week, we are 2 down. We finish green. We're going to look to go 2 down, 2 up on that week. And if you don't know what these candlestick numbers mean, guys, there's a playlist at the end of this video, or a learning tools playlist, beginner's learning tool playlist within this channel. Go check that stuff out. It'll help you to learn this strat even more than what we're teaching here. It'll really dive into the beginner stuff. Okay, so double inside bar. You see how this is blue highlighted here? Also part of the Griswold Strat indicator, so that we go back in time, we look for that double blue. To see that gold is also part of the Griswold Strat indicator. That lets me know there's a 3-1 setup or an outside bar, inside bar. There's another one. So here is the blue double inside bar, and we ended up running into an outside bar. So we opened, we triggered, we hit targets. Okay, and this is all we're looking for, guys. The candlesticks tell you all that you need to know, and we'll go through that a little bit more. We'll look for one more play on CVX here to see if we can find a double inside bar, because they are so rare. There, we've got one right there, and let's go see how we made out on that one. Double inside bars, and I like going back to look at this stuff because trades are based off of probability. So we gapped up here, and then we continued to run. So every trade, every strategy is based off of a probability. So that means that there is risk involved in every single strategy, in every single trade. And if someone tells you different, they're lying to you. If they tell you they're 100% right or there's no risk involved in a trade or strategy, it's false. Because when you're trading off of a probability. You know what should happen, or the candlesticks are telling you what should happen, but it doesn't mean it will happen, because we don't know what the next candlestick's going to do, but we have a high probability of what we believe it will do. And that's why we have risk management, and that's why our number one job is to manage our risk and maintain our portfolio. And if the trade goes against us, we're out early. Okay, so that's a play on CVX. We'll move on to Square. That's SQ, Square. So we have a 1-3 setup. It's an outside bar. So I heard Addicts Trades basically say this thing would have continued down. The only thing that stopped it was that the market closed. Okay, so we have an outside bar. It's a shooter candle or an inverse hammer, which means we have this big block with a long wick to the top. And when we have that, it's showing a bearish pattern. Now we also have all red time frame, but the quarterly, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the hourly are all going to be something new when that day opens up on Monday. Could it still all be red? It definitely could. But we're looking basically for a continuation here. And we've got this outside bar, and there's a first target, and here's a second target. And we're just going to look for a 3-2 continuation on this play. And that's it. CyberDog, Jermaine was talking about this a lot, how he likes to play these, or he likes these outside bars, because you either look at it as a 3-2 reversal or a 3-2 continuation, whatever you want to call it. But there's a few of these that I've put on the list, and we're going to look for them on this list that we've compiled tonight. Okay, so that's Square. We'll look for a trigger for puts at 54.90. Okay, we go to American Airlines. It has the same thing. American Airlines has this 2 down red shooter candle or inverse hammer, and we're just going to look for that continuation, and we're going to look for puts at 12.01, first target at 11.90. AFRM, shooter candle, inside bar. So we already know about the inside bars, and for me, I believe this, and OG Trades believes this as well. If you're trying to pick one strategy to follow out of the strat, and if that's an inside bar, great. Follow that inside bar, and this is an actionable signal when we have these shooter candles or these hammer candles or these inside bar candles. So we have a shooter and an inside bar, which are two actionable signals in one. We're going to look for puts on this thing at 1864, and we have our first target met there at 1848. We'll move on to AMD, exact same setup. Inside bar, shooter candle. We've got a target to the top that we can take or a target to the bottom. Now, when we trigger this thing, now it might go double inside bar, but when we trigger this thing at 63.36, we're going to take puts, and our first target's going to be at 63.32. And this is the thing you guys have to understand. If we hit this target, that's got to be your stop loss. Okay? If it runs down, comes back up. Now you can go find more targets further back in this AMD thing. You have in this ticker, you have to go further back to find them. And I suggest you do that. But when we're looking at this, if this goes down and reverses back through this target, and you can put I'm going to make a red line here just so we can go through this and you guys can see this, because the candlesticks are telling us a story. And I'll say this to you guys every single time. Okay? If we break this trigger to the downside and we hit this target and we go through this target to the downside, that target should be your stop loss until we hit the next target. Okay? If you want to keep your stop loss here because you're like, that's not a big enough gain for me. I like this is fine, but I wouldn't leave much more room than that for a stop loss up in this range. I would leave it right at that trigger, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, because this candle is telling us a story. Okay, and what it's saying is if I break that yellow line, you can buy puts for me. And then when I hit this green line, I want you to take targets. And that's the story. And you have to understand that story and know that story in order to be a successful trader and have great risk management. You really have to understand that. And I know our minds sometimes are looking for hope for more of a gain. That's not how a successful trader will trade. Okay? It's going to sting you over and over again. So make sure you have your risk management, your stop losses in place. BBY, same thing, inside bar, inverse hammer, shooter candle. And we have this trigger here, okay, to the downside. We can look for puts at 598, or we can look for calls at 649. But this blue line right here, this blue line is our trigger for the monthly. So if we go to the month, there is the trigger off of the inside bar on the month. So here's the thing, guys. If we trigger on the day, you can look for this to trigger on the month and possibly get in to take BBBY as a longer swing trade. Okay, CAT I don't normally have on as a day trade, but we've got this 2 up, finished red, and a shooter candle, but we also have this conflict to the upside with the weekly swing. That's our trigger to go 2 up on the week. Okay, GME, 2 down, finish green. So this gives me high probability that this thing could trend back up. We've got calls at 2580, and then we've got these 2 pink lines, which are giving me the representation of an inside bar on the week, and there it is. Okay, it's marked out for us already. Inside bar on the week. So we'll see if we can trigger on the day. I likely don't get to that week on Monday, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Okay, Goldman Sachs GS. 2 up, finish red, shooter candle or inverse hammer. We're going to take puts at 292.62 and $1 down, 291.62. And that's the story, guys. Here's the story from the candles. Buy me here, sell me here. If I continue on and I get to here, sell me there. Okay? And the way we do this is we have our triggers and our targets set on a higher time frame, and then we manage it on a lower time frame. Now you can do that on the 15, you can do that on the 5, whatever you choose. I like to do it on the 5. Next up, we've got IWM, 2 up, inverse hammer, shooter candle. We're going to look for puts on this thing at 164.86. First target's marked out, and this purple line is our 3-month chart trigger to go 2 down on the 3-month chart. Okay, long swing play there. Coca-Cola, KO. What do we have for Coke? Inside bar. We're looking at calls at 57.13, puts at 56 bucks even. Lyft. Lyft has an inside bar, shooter candle, and this is the first target right here is the monthly trigger to go 2 down on the month. So pay attention to Lyft to short on the monthly. Moderna, 2 up, finished red, shooter candle, puts at 118.03 and good magnitude, meaning I got a lot of beef on here, a lot of room to move, $3 to move from the trigger to the target. I like to see that on Moderna. A little higher premiums, though, I believe, on Moderna. Micron Technologies, MU, 2 up, finished red, shooter candle. We'll look for puts at 49.83, first target. We also have an inside bar on the week, so watch for that for a longer swing play on MU. Next up, inside bar, shooter candle on Oracle. Okay, so calls at 62.11, puts at 61.03, all red time frame, but again, that can change if we trigger to the upside. Okay, we have to wait for things to open, as Rob Smith would say. Inside bar, shooter candle on Plug as well. A ton of these setups, guys. Inside bar, shooter candle. So we'll look for puts at 20.74. That's a higher probability trade, but we can also take calls at 21.88. Peloton, inside bar, shooter candle, puts at 6.93, calls at 7.31. Roku, Inside bar shooter candle again, over and over. It's Groundhog Day. Puts at 55.92, first target 55.17, and calls at 59.16. SoFi, inside bar shooter candle, puts 481, calls at 509. Bottom of a broadening formation here, so I would be cautious of SoFi. Uber, inside bar shooter candle. Okay, puts at 26.14. First target is our trigger to go 2 down on the month. We also have a trigger to the upside at 27.29 for calls. UPST, 2 up, finished red, shooter candle, puts at 20.70, and first target at 20.19. WFC, 2 up, that's Wells Fargo, 2 up, finished red, shooter candle. We're going to look for puts on this thing at 40.18 and good magnitude to the downside at 39.77. XOM, inside bar shooter candle, puts 87.31, calls 88.99, and a trigger to go 2 up on the week for XOM. This is gas and oil might be something that has an uptrend on it. We'll see how oil and gas plays out with the hurricane and everything else that has been happening. LTHM, this is an interesting one, guys. LTHM, inside bar shooter candle. Okay, calls 31.73, puts 30.28. Then we've got the inside bar on the week, the 2 pink lines. Okay, be cognizant of that. Then we also have a trigger on the monthly to go 2 down on LTHM. So something to watch long term. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. Subscribe down below. Get in on that Discord. Get your Griswold Gold membership. Let's do a one-on-one together. You can get that live trading bot that we've got and everything else that I have to offer. Good luck trading Monday, guys, and all week, and we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.